right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, another episode of Pass the Rock Podcast. Been away from the studio for a little bit, doing the remote work. What's up, buddy over there, man? Who, buddy? Why are you warming up? What's going on, man?
It's been a while, man.
Been a while, man. You good, bro? Act like I don't see you every day. But hey, man, we're back, and as usual, we start off our episodes with our icebreakers of the day. So you know who leads it. Come on, man.
So icebreaker of the day, man. We're gonna name Christmas items and how many we think we can name in under a minute. All right. I can name 5 Christmas items.
I can name 6.
I can name 10.
Cap.
You
can't name 10.
10 Christmas items in under a minute? I can name 10 Christmas items.
Go ahead.
You got a timer?
All right. Hey, Siri. Set a timer for 1 minute. Go ahead.
1 minute starting
Go ahead.
now.
Christmas tree, Christmas ornaments, the Christmas star, Christmas bells. What's the thing that hangs over the?
You think I'm supposed to help you with that?
Mistletoe. That's 5. That's 5. Santa sleigh. Santa hats. Snow. Reindeer.
What? I'm not counting snow.
Snow is Christmas.
What?
All right.
Snow is weather.
All right. Hot chocolate. Polar Express. Christmas movie.
I should cap you at like 15, but I didn't want to keep going. I didn't want to be the one to name it. Because I want to be the one to name it.
I was definitely thinking real hard about it, but it's just what it is. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough, man. Good job. Good job. All right, man. Let's get started, man. I'm excited, bro. We got college football playoffs right now.
Yeah, man.
Starting off this weekend, we're in week 15 of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, Dallas Cowboys could still make the playoffs, which I'm not gonna bank on at all. But that's whatever. We have our Heisman. We have our NBA Cup champ. Man, let's get into nitty gritty of things, man. We're gonna start off, of course, with our Heisman winner, the one and only Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver, Colorado University. Do you think he was deserving of that? Let me not use the word deserving because it's been thrown around. But do you think he should have won it?
Hey, man, when you play both sides of the ball and you're top 5 in your position, even though he wasn't really top 5 in both positions.
He's talking mess about Travis Hunter.
No disrespect to him, but I believe, I don't care if Ashton Jeanty played in the SEC. I don't care if he was playing middle school football. When you put those numbers up that are getting compared to Barry Sanders, bro, I'm sorry. You got he was a couple of games away from making history. And it's like he's not playing scrubs. Like he ran all over Oregon. Yeah. They lost, but he ran all over them. So it's kind of like, Ashton really should have won it but with the hype, with Dion, with all that, I wanted Ashton to win, but he didn't have a shot with all that riding behind him.
So for me, it's it's like one of those things to where I think it could have gone either way. When I made that video and I posted, I did say Ashton Jeanty. That was my pick for the Heisman. It's no secret. I've always said big fan of Travis Hunter, big fan of his game. I thought Ashton Jeanty should have won it, but at the same time, I don't think Travis Hunter was not deserving of it, if that makes sense. I think Travis Hunter winning it it made sense. It's like, first of all, he is a dog. His impact on the game is very, 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 apparent. Mm-hmm. Ever since he had that forced fumble, that was probably the beginning of his Heisman moment. That forced fumble against Baylor that he had. Well, that was Baylor, right? Yeah. That forced fumble against Baylor in the end zone in overtime that would have put them in position to, go ahead in the game, and then their Hail Mary that they had probably wouldn't have mattered because, they would have already scored as well, so it would have just gone into double overtime. But that moment right there and ever since then, he has done nothing but, show us how good he is of a football player. The thing about Travis Hunter is, yes, stat-wise, his stats are good, of course. But stat-wise, yes, you could say a couple of people are better than him in each position or whatever. But you have to watch Travis Hunter play football.
Yeah, no, he's a great player.
And with Ashton Genty, he would have won it if he would have easily won it. He would have won it if he broke Barry Sanders' record. He didn't break Barry Sanders' record, so it became flawed. And I think those stats are amazing, like crazy stats, best stats we've seen all year. But you know how it goes. And like you said, the storyline was a better Heisman storyline.
I don't think Travis wins if Ashton Genty's at Boise State. If he's in any other school, if you put both of them in the Big 12, Ashton wins. If you put both of them in the SEC, Ashton wins. But the reason why they're not going to give it to him is because he goes to Boise State and he's playing at Colorado with Shedeur and Dion.
It's like and then one thing about those situations is like as much as that's a fair statement, like, hey, you didn't play a lot of great teams. It's also one of those things to where it's just like, it just sucks using that as a narrative for like teams and players because it's just like, I didn't make the schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't make the schedule. I genuinely think maybe he wouldn't have had the exact same stats, but I genuinely think that Ashton Genty would have put those stats up against a lot of teams. Like, I think now Boise State's record would have probably been much different, but his stats I don't think would have been that much different. But like I said, you know, they build up the story. It's like everybody's story point. It's like Miami didn't go undefeated. Boom, Cam Ward. Sorry about that, man. You're done. Oregon went undefeated, but like Dylan Gabriel, let's be real, you're not winning the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? So done. And then Travis Hunter, it's like the whole Deion Sanders thing from high school, flipping and going to Jackson State, then following him to Colorado, then, you know, having a bad season, getting injured, and coming back and having a winning season and making a bowl game. Storyline is just right itself, as opposed to if Ashton Genty now had beat Barry Sanders' record, it would have been like, oh, video game numbers and Barry Sanders' record. That would have, but at the end of the day, man, they had the closest Heisman race since, I think they said 2008, 2007. Mark Ingram's Heisman was the last one that was that close. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's fair or unfair. I just think it's football, it's media. They do what they got to do. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Speaking of, though, of Boise State, moving on. Boise State, at the end of the day, Ashton Genty didn't get a Heisman, but you know what he got? He got a bye week and a playoff appearance. Something that Travis Hunter didn't get, of course. I mean, Colorado wasn't going to get that, you know. So, of course, we have Boise has a bye week. Oregon has a bye week. Arizona State has a bye week. And Georgia has a bye week. So all those 4 teams are all conference champions. They will not be playing in week 1. A much-deserved bye week. But for this weekend, big weekend, first ever 12-team college football playoff agenda. All right, Friday we have Indiana versus Notre Dame. Indiana ranked number 10, Notre Dame ranked 7th. First of all, let's talk about how the impact of college football for the college campuses. Like, think about it. This first round of the playoffs are all at the higher seeds home school. There's never been college football playoffs, national championship, anything at a college campus. What does this do for college, for the universities and for the college atmosphere?
First off, universities are making money. They're making dumb money. Whether they win or lose, I mean, that's not decided until the game day, obviously. Whether they win or lose, they're making dumb bread off of the fact that we get to charge another game that we weren't expected to play this season. Because usually, if you're going bowling, you're playing at a neutral site. Yeah. But you get to charge another home game. All your fans are going to come out. You're going to have alumni, celebrities, all these people who've attended your school come back and invest more money into your school. Not to talk of you can get this is another week of basically recruiting. Like, this benefits the school. Like, the school doesn't lose even if they lose the game. What was the other question?
Like what like I'm saying, like what does it do for like this, like the atmosphere in general, like the campus atmosphere for the students and all of that?
It takes you back to a couple of years ago when you're in high school, like those playoffs games. It means a lot more because it's somewhat of a prep rally. Like you get to play at home, like it's comfortable. If anything, for the home team, they have a major advantage because I mean you're playing at a place that you've been playing at for the entire season. Like there's no pressure on you. You know, if anything, the fans are backing you. It's going to be packed. It's all about can you go out there and do what you've been doing all season.
Yeah, man. I think like, boy. I think it's gonna be so like, I can only imagine. Like I can only imagine while still at Texas Tech, if Texas Tech were to make like the playoffs, and we got to host a game in Lubbock. Lubbock would literally flip.
Yeah, we'll burn
When
the
we
city
played
down.
Colorado, Lubbock was about to explode. So think about like that would be so insane. Like it's it's good for the students and of course and all that. You're gonna see people staying on campus after graduation and all that kind of stuff, like trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure like colleges are probably gonna give extensions, maybe give extensions for like the freshmen to like stay in the dorms. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you do want your school stadium to be as packed out as possible. So you better let everybody be on campus, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna do all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty insane, man. It's great to see. It's great to see. But besides that, man, with this first round, man, what are some takeaways? Like who are some favorite teams? Obviously, some of like the notable mentions in this first round, of course, Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame. Like what is out of all these schools, what is like who do you think is going to dominate? Like do you think like these matchups are gonna come out flatline fair, or like, are gonna be great matchups, or do you think like some teams are just gonna get dominated? Like it's just not a fair matchup.
I think this year, right, in the past, how many years of college football has been around? This has been the craziest year of football that we've seen in a very long time. And I say crazy in the fact that there's no Bama here. There's no team that you've looked at the season and be like, they dominated. Even Oregon, that is the number one team in the nation. You can't look at Oregon and be like, they went out there and dominated people. But this is the one time in the one season that I've said earlier in the season that it feels like everybody's at an equal level playing field. And with NIL becoming a thing, it's gonna be like this like for years to come. Because now it doesn't matter where you go. Now it doesn't matter what your coach said. Now it matters was, hey man, that's cool, but how much money are you gonna give me at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like players are gonna stay closer to home because there's no need to go all the way to somewhere else to play at a good school when, okay, listen, I could take a couple of my friends, I could talk to a couple of people, we could play here at the hometown and get paid doing it. So with that being said, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises, especially with this 12 team, because football is one of those games that's just unpredictable. Like SMU is the clear underdog of the entire bracket. But we saw how they came back against Clemson. Clemson's a great team. Clemson's a team that could probably hold their own against anybody. And they were able to come back and just barely lose.
Yeah.
And it's teams like that you got to watch out for. Like it's almost similar to the NFL playoffs. Like a team will be doing great all season, and it's just you have one bad game. All of that doesn't matter anymore.
And that's why I'm so excited for this, man. Like, college football initially was just national championships. Top two teams go to national championship. Then they moved on in 2014, I believe, to the playoff, which was 4 teams. And then now, which, I thought was like kind of like a small expansion. Like 4 teams wasn't enough. Like 12 teams is perfect. Exactly where it needs to be. And like I've always said, it's literally going to show you like, hey, bro, like who's really trying to play football? Like who can, yes, you get a bye week as a top seed, but like your next game isn't the national championship. You still have to play to get there. So for me, it's going to be like bro, like who's really ready to play gritty football?
Yeah.
Like smash, like you're ready to play football every single week until you reach a national championship and win. Like it's gonna show you a lot of toughness. Like Oregon is the #1 team in the nation, undefeated. They're the favorite, of course, most likely to win the national championship. But I don't think they're winning it. I just don't think that like.
Not especially with that path that they're taking. They got a bye just to
they
play
have a
team
they have a
that's
tough
caliber
path.
to be a #1 team as well.
They have
so.
a tough path. So it's like, I don't think like literally, if Ohio State or Clemson wins, they have to face either of them. Those are two good teams. That you saw what Clemson did. Like SMU, give SMU their credit. SMU showed us that like, hey, we can still stand our own. You know, like yeah, we lost, but we can stand our own. Why they deserve the college football playoff spot? People try to talk about the snubs like Miami, South Carolina, Alabama. I don't think either of those teams should have made the playoffs over SMU.
They did it to themselves. Like you can't lose
to unranked teams.
Like,
bro.
Not even Alabama, especially can't lose to Oklahoma when none of their starting receivers are healthy. None of their starters are healthy. And then you lose to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Like and then Miami. Like Miami had a couple. Like I knew Miami was a fraud from week 1 when they had that fluke win with the Hail Mary. Like.
That was I think that was like week 2 or 3 because week 1 they played Florida. They destroyed.
Yeah. But like. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Miami has always been questionable. Like, Miami was like the Chiefs of this year. Like, they got away. There were certain games that they shouldn't have got away with.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to all said and done, like those teams that got snubbed, every team except for South Carolina did it to themselves.
I'm like I don't like, bro. I don't feel bad for Alabama. I don't feel bad for Miami. Like I wanted Miami to make it. Like you were undefeated at some point. You had so many close calls. And it's like, it's college football. It happens. Mm-hmm. But, dude, you lose to 2 unranked teams. What do you want me to do about it? Why are you looking at me? What do you want me to do about it? Like, Cam Ward, great player, great talent. He's talking about you left the best quarterback out of the playoffs. I'm sorry, Cam, but, like, bro, y'all lost to 2 unranked teams. Like, even if I wanted to help you, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't help you. Alabama, same thing. I can't help you. You lost to Vanderbilt and you lost to Oklahoma, who has a Cook as a quarterback. They have janitors playing wide receiver. Why are you losing to them?
Bro, they have walk-ons
I can't help you.
And cooking y'all. Man.
Bro, there was a point in time where Alabama, there was a point in time where OU, all their star receivers are like, I can't help you, bro. And it's like coaching Nick Saban, I think that's what he's seeing, and I think that's why he kind of retired. Maybe, I don't know. NIL is not, I won't say it's killing it. They deserve it, of course, but I just think like it's getting into people's heads. Like Alabama's not disciplined. Since when did Alabama celebrate? Alabama doesn't celebrate win. Like they don't go into the end zone and start dancing and doing all that kind of stuff. You know, like they don't do that.
Let me ask you before we move on to the next topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want us to give our predictions of the playoffs. So we're gonna go quickly just to make this fast, right? So Indiana versus Notre Dame, who wins?
Notre Dame. Defense too solid.
Okay. SMU versus Penn State, who wins?
I want to say Penn State, but I want to call it upset. If I'm going to call it upset, it's going to be SMU.
So you're saying SMU?
SMU. They're angry. Okay. They're angry right now.
Notre Dame versus Georgia, who wins?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame versus Georgia, who wins?
Notre Dame. You just said Notre Dame.
We're going through the whole playoffs.
Okay. Notre Dame versus Georgia. Notre Dame. I'm not sold, bro.
Okay.
Carson Beck, I'm not sold. I'm sorry.
SMU versus Boise State, who wins?
Boise State wins. I don't know.
Okay.
Boise State wins.
Boise State versus Notre Dame, who goes to the ship?
Notre Dame will go.
Notre Dame. Okay. On the other side, Tennessee versus Ohio State.
Ohio State. Come on. Come on.
All right. Clemson versus Texas, who wins?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. Texas versus Arizona State.
Texas.
All right. Oregon versus Ohio State. The rematch, who wins?
Ohio State. We're not going to lose to Oregon twice in 1 year.
Don't think I forgot about that mission.
Shut up! I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it before the football season's over.
We'll talk about it later. But so then that leaves Ohio State versus Texas. Who wins?
Ohio State. You know where I'm going with this.
Okay, so Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Who wins the Natty this year?
Notre Dame will probably not make the national championship, but if they did make it and it was against Ohio State, tight game, I think Ohio State will win. I think Ohio State is so complete around the ball, just need to stay disciplined. And Ryan Day, please, are you trying to get fired? God, fix it, man. I think Ohio State has when you look at talent across the board, I think we have the talent across the board to win a national championship, to be #1 ranked school.
Yeah.
We just have to execute. If we can't execute, we're not going to do anything. That's my college football playoff.
I don't know. I was a little questionable about that Ohio State versus Texas. I'm not a Texas fan,
Ohio State
but you know,
Ohio State can beat Texas, bro. Come on, let's be serious. And you think we're gonna man? Don't get me started, bro. Nah, we'll beat Texas. Anyways, moving on. NFL football. We have the NFL player win week 15, of course. Mm-hmm. A couple of weeks left of NFL football. We have teams that have already clinched the playoffs, of course. The Chiefs won the division, of course. Not undefeated, one-loss team. Of course, they've clinched. Eagles have clinched, I believe. The Steelers has clinched, I believe. Lions clinched on the NFC side. Minnesota is going to be a wild card, clinched. So, with all these teams that we have left who are still searching to get to a playoff spot, at some point of the season, it looked like, hey, some of these teams were a guaranteed playoff spot until, season comes around and it looks shaky. Mm-hmm. Now, out of all these teams, what team do you think is most likely going to slip and fold that playoff spot?
Slip and fold the playoff
Keep
spot.
in mind, people on the hot seat, both the Chargers and the Broncos, because I don't think they can both make it unless other things happen across the league. Mm-hmm. They both have about the same record. Okay. They both have a winning record, but I don't think they're both going to make it. And obviously the Chiefs already made it, so you know how that goes. Mm-hmm. Out of those two teams, who's more likely to fold?
The Broncos or the Chargers? Honestly, it's the Broncos, bro.
Okay.
I know the Broncos they've played outstanding football this season. Like, my God, they took the Chiefs and just barely lost by a blocked field goal. Mm-hmm. They're a good team, but the Chargers, what they have, this connection that Harbaugh has with what's his name? I'm sorry.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, and even all the players are coming back together and they're starting to look like a football team again. It's something special, man, and it's something that's happening within a year of him getting there. Mm-hmm. And yes, Bo Nix playing out of his mind. The defense on the Broncos is stepping up. The secondary has always been good. They've always had a great young receiving core. I just think that when it comes to push to shove, the Chargers are gonna step up, because if you really want to think about it, like, you got to put the game comes down to who has the ball and who you're putting the ball in their hands, right? So when it comes down to, are you going to put the ball in Bo Nix's hands, or are you going to put it in Justin Herbert's?
Yeah, most likely Justin Herbert, but I'm finally beginning to see that we've always seen the potential, but I'm finally beginning to see that potential really just go well, and that's what you get a good coach. Like the Harper brothers, man, shout out to their parents, bro. Mm-hmm. They two good coaches.
Very smart guys.
So I think the Broncos is more likely to, but the reason why I'm not so crazy off the Broncos is because they've already shocked me to begin with this season. I didn't think Bo Nix was going to suck, but I didn't think Bo Nix was going to be battling for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I didn't think Bo Nix is going to do what he's doing. Bo Nix, shout out to you, bro. At the end of the day, that's what happens when you play in college for that long. Not even, no, wait. I'm not even trying to this is not me talking again. No, I'm not even talking down on him. I'm just saying just more of and you can say the same thing with Jaden Daniels, Think about it. When you've had that more experience, you really got to mature as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So it's of course, it's not guaranteed with other people, but yeah. I'm glad that that maturity transcended into the NFL really well for him and for Jaden Daniels and other people who are, older quarterbacks, of course. I'm not trying. If I wanted to, if I want to talk smack, I'll talk smack straight up. I'll call it out.
You're not wrong. Him being in college for so long, I saw him play last year against my alma mater, Texas Tech, and man, like he was a way different quarterback than I saw at Auburn. Because I remember when he was a freshman coming in, everybody was saying he was the next coming of Jesus Christ. Like he was the quarterback, and he stunk it up at Auburn.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really expecting more to when I saw him play in Oregon, but he came to Oregon, he balled out, and Oregon was like a one loss away from being in the top 4. So that definitely does make a big difference when you need to get into the league and you got to play immediately. Yeah, and the maturity. He's 26 years old.
Yeah, I think 25, 26. Yeah, he's old.
He's old. Yeah.
But like it worked
Well,
out
he's
for him.
young for quarterbacks, you know.
Yeah, he's good. He can play
young for
to. I mean,
quarterback,
Tom Brady played to 45, so see what he can do. But okay, so obviously the playoff picture right now. Like I said, Kansas City Chiefs already they won the division. They've clinched AFC West. Buffalo Bills 12-2 after beating the Lions. They've obviously clinched a division as well.
Okay.
Houston Texans have clinched divisions. Pittsburgh hasn't clinched their division, but they have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the playoffs. They just haven't won the division just yet because the Baltimore Ravens are closely behind with them 9-5. Pittsburgh Steelers are 10-4. So they're right there. So Ravens are most likely gonna make the playoffs. It's just a matter of fact of who is the division leader, who's gonna have that, Denver Broncos very closely behind the Chiefs, actually over the Chargers. The Chargers are 8-6. The Broncos are 9-5. So at this point in time, the Broncos have a better chance of making the playoffs, record-wise, than the Chargers.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. I also think the Chargers probably have a better chance of closing it out than the Broncos do. Let's hope it transcends that way. NFC. Detroit Lions, cold Detroit Lions, man. David Montgomery, bro, I'm so sad he got hurt. As bad as they beat us, I actually love watching the Lions. Apart from when they played us, that's a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Like that's Madden NFL right there.
Yeah, man.
So they clinched their division, of course, in the playoffs. Eagles, come on, clinched the division, playoffs. For the NFC West, the Seahawks, they haven't clinched just yet. They're leading. Haven't made the playoffs. Huh?
The Vikings have clinched as well.
Yeah, Vikings are in the playoffs as a wild card, but they haven't clinched it. They didn't clinch a division because, Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're in the playoffs, of course. And the Bucks, somehow, some way, always find a way to make the playoffs. I shout out to that team, bro. Shout out to that team. They always find a way to make the playoffs. They might not win, but they're going to find a way to make the playoffs. Of course, they lost Chris Godwin, season-ending injury. They lost Mike Evans for a while. He's back now. Now, the teams that we have still lurking, apparently Dallas Cowboys can still make the playoffs. I don't know how the hell that's going to happen.
Well, you probably won out, man.
The Falcons, of course, are in the hunt or in the wild card. Of course, they can still make the playoffs.
7-7.
You said what?
They're at 7-7,
Yeah. Washington most likely will make the playoffs. But for us to make the playoffs, Washington has to keep losing and we have to keep winning. Washington has to lose the rest of the season. We have to win the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening because we still have to play Washington again. They're not going to let us lose. They're not going. If we beat Washington twice in this Washington team, twice this season, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I think this wraps up. I think if anything, Washington falls out. Seahawks go in. The Seahawks have been on a little bit of a run. I don't know if you watched their football game on Monday with the Packers, but there's some things that need to be fixed, but they're definitely a team that can compete. And speaking of the Packers, they're the team that I have going to the
NFC Championship?
Yeah, NFC Championship, yeah.
I'm not even going to argue with you on that one, bro. The Packers are sneaky, bro.
They're a good team,
Sneaky
bro.
Good, bro. They're sneaky good.
They can compete with anybody, bro. And they're so young, and that's the scary part about it. They're so young.
Bro, they're so young. They're so fast. And they just got Josh Jacobs, Josh Jacobs is in full Josh Jacobs mode right now. Like, he's in full Josh Jacobs mode. But here's my playoff picture, though. AFC, of course, the Bills are gonna go in. Chiefs are gonna go in. Steelers are gonna go in. I think the Ravens are gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna choke it out. Texas is gonna make it. That's 5 teams. So we need 3 more teams to make it. I don't know about the Colts. I think unpopular. I think the Broncos and the Chargers can end up making it together.
Yeah.
I think they can end up making it only if the Dolphins continue to lose, and the Colts continue to lose as well. Or the Colts or the Bengals continue to lose. If the Colts and the Bengals start winning, and they start losing, those two teams are still, because the Bengals are still very much in. So that's what I'll say for the AFC. On the NFC side, Eagles make it, of course. I think the Rams make it over the Seahawks initially. Let me think about this. I think the Rams make it over the Seahawks. Everyone's gonna lock in.
Yeah.
Lions make it. Vikings make it. Bucks make it. That's 5 teams.
Packers make it.
Packers make it. Is that 6 teams? The last 2 teams, bro, I don't think we're finna make it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think we're finna make it. That's it. Commanders. Commanders gonna make it over us.
Yeah.
Commanders are gonna make it. One more team.
That's it. That's 7.
That's 7.
Yeah. Lions, Eagles, Vikings, Bucks, Rams, Packers.
Okay.
Commanders.
Well, good luck to the teams, man. Hey, to close out, first of all, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks NBA Cup. I guess Darvin Ham is just a master winning NBA Cups, man. Hey, good job, man.
Oh yeah. Sorry to the disrespect earlier this season, man. I thought y'all was trash. but-
Yeah, y'all were
Yeah.
scaring me, bro. But it looks
Yeah.
like y'all figured it out. But I don't want to talk about that. They did beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I think is the favorite to be the number 1 seed out of the West, or at least the top 2. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the NBA championship, but I think they should be the top 2 seed coming out the West. Their defense is elite.
They
Number
do
1
that
defense.
every year, though. They come in 1 and 2. And
But
then,
they're maturing. You know,
and then
they've
they
been
just
been a
lose to
young team. They're
LeBron or-
maturing. I think they're maturing. I think they're getting used to each other. It takes time. I don't think they're gonna be no Lob City though. I don't think they're gonna be. Bro, Lob City was cursed. They don't have any ownership problems going on right now.
Yeah, but
Let's
bro,
knock on
like,
wood.
Yeah, but you know how I started. I was an OKC fan back when Russ, Harden, and
I think
KD
you
were
should
on
go
the
back,
team.
bro. Not gonna lie to you. Go back now.
Dude, it's hard.
Go back now.
bro.
If you need to go back, go back now.
It's hard, but bro, it's like I also like I could now be a Dallas Mavericks fan because Luka and Kyrie and now they got Clay. So it's like you see where I'm going. Like, bro, OKC has consistently let me down since I was 10 years old.
But I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'll support that team. Let me tell you something, man. I think I don't know if they have it figured out yet. I think they probably need a couple more years, but I think every year we've seen growth. They've been better every year. Okay. That's good. They're the number 1 defensive team, and they're scoring, bro. They have so many scoring options on that team. Like, let's not even get started, bro. And Shea is still growing, apparently.
Yeah.
Shay's still growing. Like, height-wise. I'm not talking about, like, growing in the game. He's still growing taller. I don't know what's going on. I thought Shea was, like, 6'4", 6. Shay's, like, 6'6", 6'7".
Oh man.
He's still growing. I don't know. He might be 6'9" by the time we're done talking about this guy.
Man, maybe I will go back. Like,
So he's still growing. So, yeah, I think they're a great team. But besides the point, big news. We have a new NBA All-Star look.
boo.
Boo. Big boo, first of all. Now, instead of just having 2 All-Star teams, the East and West, or like Team LeBron, Team Giannis, Team whatever, it's going to be 4 teams now. 3 teams being of All-Stars, 1 team being of Rising Stars. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because what are we talking about here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what does that fix? What does that fix? What is your opinion? Do you think this works? Like, what is that? Like, what is that?
Yeah. In my honest opinion,
Go ahead, bro.
they're gonna be able to bleep this out.
Nah, they can't believe
Okay.
that.
Nobody cares, bro. You know what I was gonna say, but nobody cares. Dude, like,
What's your? You were trying to tell me an analysis earlier. I told you to save it.
Oh.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I want you to sit up because I know you, LeBron lovers, man. You guys will
Go ahead, man.
We'll fight to
Speed
the
it up.
death
What you
over
got,
this,
man?
man.
Let's hear.
This is LeBron James' fault.
How's it LeBron James' fault?
All of this is LeBron James' fault. When LeBron James started doing that resting stuff, like all that resting shit that he was doing, it now got players to realize, like, damn, I don't need to be going hard every pause. I don't need to be going crazy every single day. Bro, like recollect. I don't need to be going crazy in the season every single day, bro. Especially in the playoffs. Like, look, like, for example, Kobe, Shaq, and them, bro, back in the day, every day that they're able to play basketball is every day they was competing. They was going hard. They was going crazy. They would literally go at each other's necks at any chance that they could. Nowadays, when we playing the All-Star, nobody's playing for bragging rights. Nobody's playing so that nobody's going at each other. Nobody's doing all that. We're sitting here, we're jogging back and forth for 60 minutes, throwing up threes, throwing up stuff that we'll never do in a real NBA game, and we're resting. Now we don't have players doing the dunk contest. We don't have players participating in the 3-point contest. We don't have players that even want to be a part of the All-Star. They just want to be named the All-Star and not, doing anything. But they've been trying to save, not even just in the NBA, it's in the NFL. They've been trying to save what?
Look, you're like, I need you to land because you're in the air right now. When they have when you just circulate, you're circulating. I need you to land exactly how is directly LeBron's fault.
That's LeBron.
Say it right now. Let me hear it.
It's LeBron's fault for introducing this rest thing that he does. He's been resting since he started this thing when he was on the Heat, when he was when he was one.
Fair enough.
26 or 25 years old, he started resting. Because of that, it's gotten other players to now take on this same mindset, and because of that, now every player wants to rest. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's ultimately
okay. So hear me out. If we were talking about the fact of players not participating competitively during the season and resting in some games, like Joel Embiid is trying to do and all that stuff, I wouldn't even argue with you.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with the All-Star game. LeBron has never. Only thing that you could say maybe it was LeBron skipping out the dunk contest, which at the end of the day, I wish LeBron did a dunk contest. That would have been great. It's too late for him to do it now. He's actually 40 years old.
It was too late. Father Time hasn't beat LeBron.
I mean, yeah, but that would be funny. But my thing is dude, no. LeBron never sat out of the All-Star. He just didn't do a dunk. He never sat out of the All-Star game.
He played the All-Star.
But so how does that affect people? How does that affect this new All-Star game?
I'm saying the initial big bang started when he started resting. Now, when he started resting and he declined to do the dunk contest, bro, it made other superstars think, bro, why am I doing this? Ja Morant is somebody that we wanted to see in the dunk contest, and he talking about I'm not gonna do it unless I get paid a lot of money.
He said $1 million. But here's my thing. Here's what I'm trying to drive though. How can that be a thing? How can that be a thing if LeBron never sat out the All-Star game, and over the years all the best players have always played in the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. So in conclusion, I don't think LeBron is to blame for this at all.
He is to blame because now they're using the All-Star weekend as a rest period because all anybody wants to care about is saving their bodies to play in the playoffs. But LeBron just didn't want to be in the dunk contest. He's saving their bodies to play in the playoffs. Like the way that Jordan and Kobe played, they played every single game like it was their last.
But that has nothing to do with the All-Star game specifically because LeBron has never rested the All-Star game. He's played it.
He's never yes, but I'm saying the initial.
No, I understand what you're saying. The idea of resting, so they try to rest during the All-Star game's fair, but that.
It started everything. It did.
I don't agree with that at all because LeBron never introduced people just started playing a lot looser during the All-Star game. It just started happening. It wasn't necessarily LeBron's fault. If it's during the season time, I'll take that. All-Star weekend, it's not LeBron's fault. Everybody just simultaneously started playing less competitive, maybe because they didn't want to get injured and all that stuff. It's the same thing that's happening in the NFL with the Pro Bowl games and stuff. Now they have people playing flag football. What is that? So it's just I don't think it's any purchase. I just think the competition in the game has gone down, and that's what the players wanted.
The last thing I'll say is the preserving
for it to go up is what I mean. They want the competition to go up, and then they asked NBA for a fix, and this was their fix, which is pretty stupid.
Preserving the body thing started off with LeBron. That's why I'm not even. We're gonna leave NFL on their own. Preserving the body thing started off with LeBron. Or he's the one that made it big. I'm not gonna say he's the one that he started everything, but he's the one that made it big. And because of that, it now started giving players the idea of, dude, I don't have to play. We play 82 games in the season. I don't have to play every single 82 games as hard as I do because and it makes sense logically. By the time the playoffs come, you have to win 16 games to win the whole thing. You have to win 16 games to get a ring. So now I understand it, but it also is what's making All-Star Weekend not as fun because when it comes down to it, everybody uses it as a rest weekend. Nobody's playing hard. Nobody's playing fast. Nobody's playing like they would as if they were playing for the NBA title. And it makes sense, but like that's what's ruining the All-Star game.
I guess, man, we might just have to agree to disagree. But we'll talk about this later. But with that being said, man, it is what it is. I don't like this. I don't like the new setup. It sucks. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. College football this weekend, NFL this weekend, NBA all week. Let's tune in. Let's watch some sports. Can't wait for the college football playoff games this weekend, starting Friday. It's going to be a great weekend. With that being said, we've come to the end of another amazing episode. Y'all make sure to like, subscribe, comment, suggest any episode topics you want to hear, icebreakers, whatever people you want to see, because we're actually going to start moving towards that. Yeah. With that being said, y'all make sure Underdog Fantasy, make sure to put in your picks. Make sure you're using the code PASSTHEROCK, PASSTHEROCK. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good day, good week. Peace out.